Hello, my name is Heidi Keuper. I'm actually the host of our YouTube show called Lost and Found No More Secrets. I've been asked to help out Laura with some client stories while Amy has stepped away. I promise you I'm not going to be as great of a storyteller as they are, but I'm going to try my very best. So with this story today, and I actually have her permission to use her name. Her name's Athena, and she's actually was our very first episode on season 1 with our YouTube show Lost and Found No More Secrets. It was an amazing show. It's if you haven't watched it, you need to, because you have to. It's got so many layers and it's so interesting. So one of the things that I've seen when I've read the comments in our YouTube videos is, why would you disrupt someone else's life? Just keep your secrets to yourself. Well, no, we're not going to do that. And this is a great example of why we wouldn't do that. So Athena came to me like 3 years ago. It's been a minute. And she never had a father figure in her life. She really never had a maternal figure either. But she knew her mom was. But her mom had a list of men who could be her dad. She had tested 2 of them and actually had even forged relationships with them, and they turned out not to be her biological father. So she took an ancestry test and she came to me, and when I looked at her DNA matches, I saw right away that she had an uncle match. So I told her, you know, this man is your uncle. I gave her the surname. I said, go to mom and see if this name rings any bells to her. So she did, and the mom said, oh, yeah. So I'm not going to say his first name, but yeah, I did have a quick situationship with this man. So she had a birth father. So she asked me for advice what to do, and I had done a background check on him and had his phone number. I gave Athena his phone number. She called. He didn't answer because it was an unknown number, so she was too scared to leave a voicemail. So I told her, I said, we have his Facebook profile. Go to his Facebook and send him a message with your phone number. And a little, just nothing heavy, just a little bit of why you're reaching out to him. So she did that, and he called. Her heart dropped when she saw his number come through. And it was real interesting because she said that as soon as she heard his voice, she knew that was her dad. It's really hard for her to explain. She said she wouldn't have needed an ancestry test, that she felt such a connection just to his voice. So they talked, and she said, you know, I have no desire to disrupt your family, but I would like to have a relationship with you in time. And he said, I can't have that happen, because he was married when Athena was conceived. And he was scared and afraid of ruining his marriage. He also had 5 kids with his wife. So he asked her not to contact him again, or not to contact the uncle match or anybody else in the family. Athena's heart shattered into a million pieces, because she always wanted to have a paternal, you know, figure in her life to help her during those difficult times. You know, she's a young mom, and she's been through a lot in her life, and her heart was just completely shattered. But I told her, well, it's not his, he can't say whether or not you can have a relationship with your uncle. Reach out to your uncle. And she did that. The uncle's amazing. The uncle there was like 2 people that had a really big effect on Athena's case. And one is her uncle, and the second one is her stepmom, or she calls her bonus mom. And I'll get to that in a minute, because that's really incredible. So the uncle and her, they just start out by texting every day. I'm at 4 minutes. Man, I got to make this quick. They start out by texting every day, and she ends up, after about a year of that, they meet. He drives down with his family, and they meet, and he's like, I'm sorry that your dad has chosen not to have contact with you, but you know what? I'm going to fill those shoes for him. He bought her wedding dress. You know, they forged a really close relationship. She also has a cousin that is about the same age as her. They have a lot in common, and they became really close. So they're having this relationship. They're visiting each other. They're getting to know each other, but there's still a hole in Athena's heart, because she doesn't want to be somebody's secret. She's a person and she deserves more than that. So her cousin and her start like little teenagers, like, how are we going to let the cat out of the bag? Like, how are we going to do this? Because even the cousin's heart was broken because she saw the pain that Athena was going through. So they had the cousin test at Ancestry, and they got the results back. And they're actually, Athena and her cousin are sitting next to each other on the couch, and they are messaging each other on the Ancestry app like they don't know each other. Like, well, how are we related? Who is your dad? You know, they're doing that just to be able to get evidence to take to Athena's dad, to say, for the cousin to say, hey, I'm not going to keep this a secret. You need to tell your wife. So that's what they did. So the cousin called Athena's dad, and Athena's dad's like, okay, well, give me some time. I'll do it, but I want to do it when we're alone. Give me some time. And in the meantime, Athena was also talking to her dad and said, hey, I'm on my way to go visit the family in Arkansas, I believe it was. She had been there the whole time. He didn't know that, but she made the impression that, hey, I'm going to go visit this family. If you want to take the opportunity to meet me, this is the time. So I think the dad waited about a day, and he told his wife, Randy's amazing. So Randy, when she heard, of course she was upset because of the betrayal, but she's also a really good person. And she told him, you know what? You pack a bag, you get in your car, you do the right thing for your daughter. We'll deal with us later, but you need to go meet her, and you can't have her meet the family without you being there. They didn't know that she'd already been a part of the family for a couple of years. So he gets there and they just embrace. It's an 8-hour drive for him. And she said he showed up like late at night, and they just hugged it was a bear hug. You know, she just knew immediately, like, I'm touching my father. This is such a big deal to her. So they spend a week together, and she was able to meet her grandparents, which was a big deal to her because she hadn't grown up with grandparents in her life, and that was important to her. So she was able to meet them. Randy and her ended up just bonding. Like, they are the best of friends. In fact, Athena says Randy should have been my mom. She was the most amazing person. So Uncle and bonus mom Randy were really the two pivotal people that made all this happen. So they are a family. That is her dad. You know, she calls him dad. That is her dad, and she's got a relationship with her 5 siblings. They spend a lot of intentional time together. They FaceTime like as the whole family. They take vacations together. The dad's kids know that Athena and her family's going to be there with them, to expect that because that's important to them. And they've just really embraced Athena. And the moral of the story is, do not give up. Give them some time. If they initially say, no, I don't want a relationship, remember that they're just finding out for the first time, whereas Athena knew her whole life. So give them some grace and some time, and just don't give up. Also, the stepmom, bonus mom, is always a make or break deal. And I'm just so happy that Randy embraced Athena the way she did. And she's Grammy to Athena's kids. I'm going on almost 9 minutes now. I'm trying to keep it short, but it's such a good story. I do hope that you go watch the story, because there is, like, Laura and I were the host of the show, and Laura is crying, I'm crying, stepmom's crying, everybody's crying. It's just, if you don't have a heart in your body if you can't watch that and get all in your feels. So yeah, go watch it and comment here and let me know what you think about it. Talk to you later.